Hello, this is David Giard. I am a cloud architect at Microsoft, and I'm going to show you a tool that can help you accelerate your development process. That tool is GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot can help you write code, understand code, document code, and do a bunch of other things with your code. Today I'm going to show you just a few features of GitHub Copilot. Many different IDEs provide plugins and extensions for GitHub Copilot. You can use it from the command line, or you can use extensions within Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, Vim, Azure Data Studio, and over a dozen IDEs from JetBrains. GitHub Copilot works with many languages, but I will start with a JavaScript demonstration. What I'll do inside of Visual Studio Code is make sure that I have the extension installed right here. And if I search for GitHub Copilot, I'll see that I do in fact have it installed, but if I don't, it's totally free. Just click on install, and there it is. Next, I'm going to create a file. I'll just call it demo.js. And you'll notice, of course, the JS extension tells Visual Studio Code this is a JavaScript file, but a comment appears here. Press Control-I to ask GitHub Copilot to do something. And that's one way to interact with GitHub Copilot. So I'm going to do that first of all. Control-I on my keyboard. I think on a Mac it'll be Command-I. And I'll just type something in here. I'll say something like create a function that adds together two numbers. And it generated a function like that. If I like it, I can click accept. If I don't like it, I can click discard, or I can regenerate the function. There aren't a whole lot of ways of doing that, but I'll click accept, and there's a function right here. Let me get rid of that. And instead of doing this, I can also put a comment in. / is a JavaScript comment, and say create a function that multiplies two numbers together, and press enter here. And then from here, I can press tab to accept it, and each line will be accepted. And there is a function that returns that. The other thing I could do is I can, how about say, call that function. To call it. And a third way of interacting with this is just to simply start creating my function. Function, how about hours between times? I want to know how much between T1 and T2, what are the hours? And if I press space right here, you can see that in gray, it's suggesting a function that will do that. And if you notice that I hover over that gray part of it here, up here it tells me pressing tab will accept it. And I'll do that. Go ahead and press tab. You see now I've accepted the whole function, but I'm going to do Control-Z, undo that, generate it again, and I have some other alternatives here. I can accept it word by word by pressing Control right arrow, or just by clicking this, one word at a time. And maybe that's useful if I want to change something about this here, because GitHub Copilot isn't always 100% correct. Maybe I think, oh, 60 is not right. Maybe 59 is the right one. Of course, that's wrong in this case, but you never know. This is GitHub Copilot is doing its best from the information that it has, and it is possible that it will generate something that isn't 100% correct. You are still in control. It's still your responsibility to vet this code to make sure that it is correct, because you're still the pilot. GitHub Copilot is the co-pilot, as the name suggests. So what I can do here is one useful thing. Another useful thing is I can right click on this, and you'll see that right here I have a Copilot option in my context menu, and I can explain this function right here. This works for more than just one function. This is really useful when you inherit a code base from someone else. And you want to understand exactly what they're doing. Sometimes it's difficult. They have a complex logic. They have cryptic variable names. They have cryptic names of functions and modules and things like that. This can be really useful for summarizing that and understanding something very quickly. Another thing I could do, Copilot generate docs. And here, just these comments at the top, which explains, I'll click on accept for that, what this function does. Again, you want to vet it and make sure that it's correct, but this is pretty nice. Another way to use GitHub Copilot is to generate automated tests. So I can come in here, Copilot, and say generate tests. And it may prompt me for the testing framework that I want to use. So I may have to install that and install some extensions, but I already have that here. And so I can just click accept or discard. I'll click accept. And now it's created a new file called demo.test.js. If I save this and close it, you can see it shows up right here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests that I created to test out this one function. In this video, I've shown you just a few of the features of GitHub Copilot. This tool has many other features that can help you be more productive in your entire development lifecycle. And we'll explore some of those features in future videos. For now, thanks for watching.